Master and apprentice in the ruck. Eaton for Subiaco up against the reigning best and fairest at Claremont in Ollie Eastland. Comes off the fingertips there of Eaton. Hurried kick hacked forward there by Liam Hickmott. Broken up by Sheldrick. Bounces a kick towards centre half forward. Best position, Beringer. Shares it with Savini. Brushes aside the tackle. Almost hand pass to his own advantage there. He's aided by Liam Hickmott at ground level, but he turns it over. Unable to get a kick away in there, though, was Jackman. He lays a good tackle. Not an attractive start to this game. Some bullocking around, and there'll be a ball up.
I still think Ash Prescott will be happy with that start. He talked about their start being important this week after their 3 games they haven't begun well. And there was a lot of intent, attack on the ball and the player in that first 45 seconds of play.
Ball tossed up. One down by Eaton, but straight down the throat of the Sandover medalist, Rogers, towards half forward. Mainwaring off hands. He's collared high, but a free kick already had been paid prior to that.
Off the ball, further up off the ground.
Yeah, and Claremont have come out with a lot of aggression. There's been little spot fires around the ground at the start of the game, lots of pushing and shoving, and that little free kick then was not necessary at all off the ball.
Interesting, the player who gave the free kick is coming off with the blood rule, so I didn't see what happened, but it could have possibly been a retaliation.
Yeah, Harry Rogers bleeding from the nose. Interesting, Zach Mainwaring has had a change of number during the week. It's been number 33 throughout his league career, but he's donning number 1 today. He was the player that was tackled high after that initial free kick was given, but towel across the nose there for Bailey Rogers. Just need to stem the flow. He's an important member of this midfield. He'll be back on pretty shortly. Subi skipper, Clark, diagonally to the outer side. Worked under the ball was Eastland at the back. Gathered up. Strength shown in there by Will Hickmott. Bounces a hand pass to brother Liam. He gives it back to Robbins. Centre half forward inside 50 for the first time. The Lions. Borchett gets a kind bounce. Trying to zigzag away there from Davis. Pulls his kick into the pocket. Almost a grab of the jumper back there by Alvarez, but he's able to fist it out of play.
No so-called this week. Mayo's playing forward, did well last week, and he was a forward in his junior days. He's been playing mainly wing probably because of Borchett and so-called, but he gets to play forward today.
Mayo in the ruck, conceding some height here, but he gets rid of Eastland, bounces off his shoulder. Liam Hickmott leaves the footy behind. Gets it now. Hand pass away. A little bit of space on that occasion. Francis Cheney, and he's put it through. The opening score of the game going the way of the Lions.
Good pressure from Subiaco. They've actually had a fair bit of the footy compared to Claremont at this stage, and Francis Cheney off one step was a lovely finish. Most of the goals that we've seen earlier today have been kicked to the left of screen as well, so it's a good start for Subiaco.
Yeah, and that's a typical winger's goal, isn't it? You get that feedback handball on the 50 and you've got to be able to kick it off one step, and he executed it perfectly there. You can see on the truck assist replay here the feedback handball from stoppage from Liam Hickmott to Francis Cheney, who is playing wing, and that is a typical goal you see from a winger where they're sitting out and they get a feedback handball and they've got to be able to kick off one step 45 metres, and that was beautifully executed and a great start by Subi.
As is the tradition, mobbed by his teammates in his 4th game, Francis Cheney, but that is his first league goal in the WAFL. Ruckman mistimed their approach there. Eaton does his rove and gives it off to Liam Hickmott. And then off to a teammate. The stand-start kick goes up towards the attacking 50 from Foley, the former Eagle. No one can take the mark. Opportunity for Frederick. Oh, his hand pass knocked down in there by Morgan. Strong tackle laid by Hardesty. Jars out then towards Mayo, and they got the mark in front. Well, that certainly wasn't a pass going forward on that occasion. But Borchett in front, as you're told to do as a forward growing up. And this should be a lay-down goal for the Lions.
It should be, but he's been a little bit off with his goal kicking this year. He's actually only kicked 2 goals, and yeah, he's shanked a few, but this is very, very easy shot on goal for Borchett.
Premiership player 5 years ago for Subiaco. Sends it on its way. Danger signs early for the Tigers. They haven't had a win this season. They've already conceded the first 2 goals.
Well, you've got to like Eaton's effort in the ruck. Not only is he jumping, but he's following up and then picking up the ball and dishing it off to a midfielder. Fantastic by the big Subi ruck, and 19 disposals to 3. So Claremont have come out with huff and puff, but no winning of the footy at this stage.
Truck assist replay. Mayo cross half forward, snaps the ball and quickly Borchett reacts quicker, gets in front, kicks the goal. 19 disposals to 3. Claremont are a high disposal team normally, and they've struggled so far this year, and there's some worrying signs for them early.
Eastland and Eton again to go head-to-head in the middle. Fingertips to it to Eton. Bolton taken forward by Foley, and another stoppage.
Bit impressive, Eton, so far.
Yeah, he's vertical, isn't he? Free kick off the ball again. This one's to Claremont.
So down to centre half forward. A chance for Jackman here. Defender right on the 50-metre arc.
Even just that jump early means that Eastland can't get to put it, even if he wins the tap, as clean as he would like.
Now, will Jackman go for home? He's got a slight sou'wester blowing to that left of screen.
This would be annoying for Beau Warden if you happen to kick this. They've had control of the game and give away a free kick off the ball.
Goes long, 55 metres out. He's punched it low. Going for the mark right on the line down there was Gowdy, the Claremont forward. And it's gone through for a behind.
Now, he's just got under their skin a little bit, Jackman, off the ball. At the start of the game, he was pushing, shoving his direct opponent, and Subiaco retaliated there and given away a very undisciplined free kick. Let's see Jiwa's kick in here. He's pretty lethal with his kicking normally.
Man on man, they're going Claremont.
To the broadcast wing, it is a powerful kick. Eastland in front through his hands. Morgan dispossessed. Hardesty, normally deep in defence, tackled the ground. That's holding the ball.
Good decision. He ducked his head and drove in. That's very good umpiring there.
Liam Hickmott with the free kick. Punches it out wide. Sturgio on his own. Now he's got Eton has run forward of the play, the big ruckman. Subiaco fractionally inside their attacking half. Goes long into the pocket. Target was Mayo. Couldn't mark. Sturgio ground level. Hand pass. No one could gather it initially. Golding to Sturgio. The ball ends up with Will Hickmott. Snaps and has missed the lot.
Good work right by Sturgio. Then he was part of it here. Then another couple of possessions. A bit to prove probably against his old club, Claremont.
28 disposals to 4. That's a shellacking at this early stage of the game. 7.5 minutes in.
Hardesty on the end of the Howard kick. He goes to the top of the defensive goal scare. Martinez normally likes to run off half back, but corralled there. Comes long. Eastland is the target again. He arrives late. Off hands, opportunity. Golding knocking it forward. Mayo is there. Hand pass intercepted by Howard to Martinez. Look away hand pass to Weston. The former Docker goes for a spiral down the wing. Foot race on out the back. Or fickle bounce, unfortunately, there for Subiaco. Well done in there by Waterman. The free kick away. Tackle has lingered. And it will be a free kick to the Tigers. Just forward of the wing. In fact, DeLacy makes it a hand pass to Rogers. Not a good-looking kick off the boot. Floats inside 50. At the back, gathered by Savini. Powerful kick. Dropping to Mark Kitchen. Bolton is there. Off the outside of the right boot. Diving attempt to Mark. Back there by Sullivan. Unsuccessful. Corbett gets it off by hand. Berringer, a grubbered kick. Bolton with strength. Hand passes along the line. They keep it in down there, the Tigers, but not for long. Boundary throw in the shadows.
Yeah, Claremont are just going to have to tidy up their ball use going forward, because already with their 5 inside 50s, Subi have rebounded 4 of them. So that high rebound rate of Subiaco is in place, and Claremont haven't been able to address their connection going forward.
Eastland in front position. Palms it down, but hits it straight down to Hickmott. Liam Hickmott started the game well. Kicks into the middle. Hardesty a good spoil. Ball pinballing around. Will Hickmott dispossessed. Alvarez, hurry kick, and it lands into the waiting arms of Eastland. Loops the hand pass to Bolton. Normally uses the ball well. Closed down, props long towards full forward. Should have taken the mark back there. Corbett, there's a whistle on play, and it's a free kick to the Tigers for a hole. And it's going to be Alex Manuel, twice a leading goal kicker down here at Claremont. Normally very accurate. In fact, this season, 7 goals, 1.
It looked like just a couple of arms around him, stopping him jumping at the ball.
It's almost like that's a bit of a cue this year for the umpiring, isn't it? If they see those arms around the body, whether they're holding or not, the umpires are picking that up. You're right, Alex Manuel was a very good set shot on goal. He's got an interesting technique. He sometimes kicks with a bent leg. His follow-through's quite bent.
Looking for Claremont's first, and he's put it through. The Tigers getting their opening goal at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, a few inside 50s for Claremont now. They're starting to get their hands on the ball a little bit more. Rogers has come back on the ground. He was off for a while. Straight away had an inside 50 when he was there, and Bolton with that inside 50. So they need their better ball users and ball winners getting hold of it. And if that happens, we know their forwards can be dangerous. Even though they haven't really taken a big mark, Manuel gets into a good spot and converts on that occasion.
On the truck assist replay, we see Bolton launching the kick in. We see there just a little hold on Alex Manuel, and he made sure he put a little bit of mayo on it for the umpire. And as Glenn mentioned, very accurate now. 8 goals, 1 for the season, makes no mistake, and gets Claremont a much-needed goal.
Orchard now has gone into the ruck to contest here against Eastland. The ladder wins it down. Weston ran into a wall in the shape of Lee Kitchen and will go through it again.
Joel Weston playing inside today gives him a point of difference, Claremont, with his speed.
Sturgio, a fumble, gives it off to Kitchen, who goes with a volley kick wide towards the outer wing. Masika getting there first, corralled by Robbins, gives it to Martinez over the top to Bolton. Gets rid of it very quickly. That is a high tackle. Masika, it'll come back. Kitchen, no doubt about that. The left forearm draped over the shoulder. So Masika, first-year player for Claremont. Long towards right half forward. Eastland, was he nudged under it? He played for the free kick. Sturgio over the back, gives it to Clark. Captain goes out wide towards the wing. Martinez will be happy to see it out of play. Bouncy castle in operation. WAFL Wonderland today.
I noticed some fire out there as well after Claremont kicked the goal. There were the jets of fire.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that at a WAFL game.
You can actually feel the heat as well, which probably don't need today.
Plenty of those following this game in the Derby when the Eagles run onto the ground against Fremantle at Optus Stadium. A fumble in there. In the end, out to Clark. Props goes with the right boot deep towards left full forward and out of play.
See someone on the 5th floor up there with a balcony with the umbrellas out watching the footy.
Well, they could get the kebabs out and toast them today when that fire goes up as well.
It's a warm one. It's been a warm start to autumn. Don't forget, immediately after this game, we're up to Optus Stadium. Be a big one tonight. West Coast up against Fremantle. West Coast with their first win last week. Eastland, hurried kick forward. Road couldn't mark. Playing for the free kick, Waterman lays the tackle then on Sturgio, did very well. Kitchen working it out. Chance for Golding. Clark needs to be quick and gives it off to Borchert. Borchert now long towards full forward. It's a one-on-one down there. The spoil coming from Pasira. Davis comes in to assist him at ground level, and there will be a baller.
No, hold the ball. He dragged it in. Yep.
Adelaide fans will be interested in that decision. Now, Davis is one of the elite users of the footy, more so on the run than from a stand start like this, but normally, there it is, normally uses it beautifully and often over distance. So Eastland there collapsing to take the mark. Mainwaring short down the line.
Off the ball free kick against Bailey Rogers. Serbia will get it.
It's interesting, Bailey Rogers was off with the blood rule, bleeding from the nose. He's gone back on the ground and obviously he's not happy.
That's his second off the ball free kick against.
Ferrone now, untidy looking left footer, inside 50. Big pack of players around the fall of the ball. Hardesty lays a strong tackle. The ball's not going to come out of there.
The Channel 7 Derby lunch yesterday, the presidents on the same table, the Claremont President Grant Povey spilt his red wine all over Subiaco President Russell Smith's white shirt. So that was the first salvo fight this weekend.
From the ball up, Will Hickmott gets a little toe poke back infield. Borchert, a fumble. Mayo, they could almost be holding the ball. Out towards the boundary line, Gowding strong with the body. on Borchett and will have a throw in.
Knowing Grant Povey, that may have been deliberate.
Yeah, well, allegedly it was accidental. I didn't see the incident, but I saw the aftermath on Russell Smith's shirt.
Some people say it's a cardinal sin, spilling red wine. Now the ball is thrown in. Borchett over the back. Hurried left footer up towards the attacking 50. Mayo beaten by the bounce. Out towards the line it goes and beyond.
Bit of feeling in this.
Yeah, there is. And the Western Suburbs teams do have a bit of a rivalry. As Greg Clark mentioned before, that they go up a notch. They don't like each other, and that's what we love to see. It's a very competitive game.
Mayo from behind wins it down, hitting it strongly ground level. Pasira, powerful drop punt to the wing. Gowdy with one hand, off hands Manuel, kicks up towards a fairly vacant wing. Waterman gathers, hand passes to the voice of Gowdy out the back. How will the umpire view that? Tackled by Ferrone. He had an interesting disposal in there, if you could put it that way, and the umpire calling for a baller.
I think he's really didn't have prior, so even if the disposal isn't correct, if he had no prior, it's a play on. I think that's what he's gone with there. Hickmott and Sturgio leading the way with 8 and 6 for Subi.
Leaning over the top, Eaton wins it down. Liam Hickmott off to brother Will. Hurry kick down the wing. Martinez caught behind, uses the body well though. Now assisted by Alvarez, intercepted by the other 14 though. And they work it across to Kitchen. On in turn then to a teammate who pumps the ball long, Sturgio. Foot race out the back. Going to ground Howard. Very strong tackle laid on Pasira. And Subiaco have done very well there to lock it up.
Doing really well on the ruck. He's got that big leap. Can he maintain that for 4 quarters in strong conditions? Eastland will still be as tall as he is now later on, but can Eaton maintain that leap?
One down by Jackman. Davis. Very high kick. It'll come out beyond the defensive 50. Sturgio, I think, lost sight of it in the sun. Martinez crashes the pack, goes to ground heavily. He gets it back, though, bounce to his feet. Slings it down along the boundary line, meeting it full chest at Dewar. High kick will land about 45 metres out from Subi's goal. Clark grabbed by the jumper. Lucky not to give a free kick away there, the Tigers, and we'll have another stoppage inside Subi's arc.
What a great kick that was from Dewar. Probably 9 players out of 10 would only be able to kick that along the line, and for him to hook it back into a really dangerous spot that almost resulted in a shot on goal.
Borchett double palm down, but Claremont gang tackling.
He's a handy player because he can play small, tall, medium. He's quick. He kicks the ball a long way and reads the play very well as well, Angus Dewar.
Borchett gets the hand pass away to the former skipper, Kitchen, bouncing it into the pocket. Davis sockers it towards the defensive 50. A fumble by Masuka. Goes in then with the tackle. Ball jars free. Players crashing in from both sides. Masuka the last to lay the tackle there for Claremont on alone.
Clearance is 9-4 Subiaco way. Pre-game, we talked about it. Claremont really needs to win that battle.
Jackman swatting it down. Liam Hickmott's been busy early. His hand pass knocked down. Here's Weston. Loops the hand pass out wide. Cross to England. Powerful kick now. It's well weighted to Manuel's advantage. That was a beautiful kick by Callan England. Goes long towards the goal square. Gowdy down there with a bit of a height advantage on Berringer. It doesn't get to either. Will Hickmott gets the hand pass to Corbett. Back then to Berringer. Shunted to the ground in the act of kicking. Gathered then by Alvarez to the goal square. Subiaco have numbers back there in defence. Ferrone with the clearance towards the outer side, but not clearing it for long. Yeah, it was into a knee, Davis.
Bit of a dump kick by Ferrone. He had a teammate there he could have handballed to, and he just blazed away.
Well, I mentioned a moment ago that Davis is a beautiful kick. He's carried the line from 55 metres, but pushed it right.
It's well read by Davis too. He was level with Borchett, but he saw the cue that the kick was going to come along out of defence and almost resulted in a goal.
Conceded the first 2 goals, Claremont, but they've drawn back to within 4 points. Low, Will Hickmott in the shadows takes the mark. It's a beautiful kick in by Ferrone.
What we're actually seeing is 2 sides that have both struggled to connect going forward, and they're displaying that same trademark so far with 2 goals and 1 goal only at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter.
Morgan Does well, loops it off to the pacey Robbins, goes long inside 50, Claremont favourite at the back. Here's Davis again, can't zigzag away from Borchett, makes it difficult for Hardesty. Mayo takes him to ground. Subiaco's tackling inside their 50 has been spot on. They forced another stoppage.
Yeah, their forward 50 pressure's been excellent, but it could be improved a lot more if their kick going inside 50 actually goes to the advantage of a teammate.
Eastland wins it down. Bolton tackled to ground by Kitchen.
Too often the Subi and Claremont forwards are behind as that kick is coming in, or they're out of position, so there's a real lack of connection there.
Eastland, the palm down to Bolton. He has one arm trapped. No prior opportunity. Martinez on the bench.
Claremont's disposal efficiency of 51, that's very low.
Here's Bolton again off the hands of Eastland, not 15 metres. Alvarez off to England. Now Bolton. High kick. Back with the flight was the big ruckman Eaton over the back. Gowdy shunted off it almost by Berringer. He then gets a kind bounce, goes looking for Manuel, protects the ball with the body, and he can line up 3 seconds.
And that's why Alex Manuel kicks goals, because he just has that ability to read play, position himself at the right time in front or at the right time goal side, depending on what's happening. He watches the game closely, and Gowdy, under a bit of pressure here, just checks the kick, and Manuel's just that one step in front, and that's why he's a regular leading goal kicker for Claremont, and a very dangerous player.
Going to be an important battle that between Gowdy and Berringer. Neither are particularly athletic, but both workhorses, and Gowdy winning on that occasion.
Bit of a skip inside the 50 metres, punches it long and punches it left. 1 goal, 1 this afternoon for Alex Manuel.
Haven't seen Dewar. No, Rogers.
Yeah. Might be having Angus Dewar kick in 99% of the time with his penetrating kick, but let's see how we go. Still pretty good.
Yeah, that is a good kick. Eastland flying third in line, can't take the mark. Ground level ball, opportunity there for Mayo. Gets it back, left foot kick up towards half forward. Broken clear all on his own there was Borchett, but he left it behind. Davis having a good first quarter. Gives it off towards Inverarity, famous name in WA sport. Frederick bounces it to the outer side. Alvarez has been busy early as well. Long inside 50, over the back, grabbed by Main wearing the check side on goal. He's pushed it to the far side.
A couple of poor efforts from Borchett up the ground have been really costly. It was a really good kick from Mayo to pull that ball across. Just needed to take that ground ball and Subi were away.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things, Trent, and I agree. It's not good enough to let a ball go through you like that. It's like getting bowled in cricket. At least get the pads behind it, right? He needs to get his body behind that ball so that if it does skittle through, it's hitting his legs and he's keeping it in front.
Powerful kick by Dewar. Eastland in front, spoilt from behind. Liam Hickmott, hand pass intercepted by Rogers. A hand pass ricocheted to him after he got rid of it. Here's Eastland, the big ruckman. His kick is touched off the boot and out of play.
Hickmott up to 11, Sergio 7, and Will Hickmott on 6. For Claremont, Bolton on 6, Davis 5, and Alvarez 5.
Subiaco haven't scored since the 5-minute mark, so 18 minutes of scoreless footy for Subi, having kicked 2 goals in that brief period at the start of the game. Rogers, high kick, going towards the outer pocket. Manuel's in there once again with Savini. Manuel gathers, hand pass not overly creative. Royd will be content to tackle his opponent out of play.
Yeah, and I just feel that Subi have fallen into a bit of a trap of playing at a tempo that Claremont are making them play. So it's a fast game at the moment. Another free kick off the ball?
Off the ball to Hickmott.
So that's the 4th free kick off the ball in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was I did see that one. It was an unnecessary bump. It wasn't too vicious, but the umpires have been in control. And why would you do it at the moment if you're out there? Because they're going to pay the free kicks.
Just getting back to that point with Subiaco, they've only marked the ball 4 times for the quarter. So they're just quite happy to play in chaos. Kick to contest, that's a better kick to a leading forward.
He's had a good start to the game, Liam Hickmott. Found Mayo with ease there. He wheels onto the left boot. There's no one back in the goal square. Martinez running with the flight of the ball. Doesn't wait around. Bounces his kick to England. He's got Frederick outside him if he wants. Opts just to go long. Gowdy the target. Good use of the body. Plays on. goes towards the one-on-one. Manuel is down there. Savini on him at the moment. Ball gathered by Rode, the former Falcon. Bounces a check side to the outer side. Sturgio's hand pass stolen by Alvarez on the 50-metre arc. Hurried kick inside 50. Mainwaring gets an awful bounce. And this allows Savini to run off the last line. Well-weighted kick coming in from behind. Weston takes it towards the line but keeps it alive. Masika, high kick inside 50. No one can take the mark. Coming in, Waterman gets a good hand pass away. Sheldrick back in the league side today. Bounces his kick right.
Gowdry's giving a lot of problems there for Berenger, and really Berenger's the only player he can play on as well. So he has to really bounce back.
Well, Subi at the moment are handballing more than they're kicking. So 39 kicks, 42 handballs, which I would suggest is a way too high handball ratio.
Ferrone over the back. Ferrone kicking it over the back. Mayo. Saddle put on him. Umpire takes quite some time before blowing the whistle. It's going to be a taxing day. Over 30 degrees here in Perth. You'd want to be full forward at the left of screen. At least there's some shadow in the goal square. From the ball up, no one can take an advantage in there. Clark offers a shepherd, which clears a path then for Francis Cheney. Hugs the boundary line in front, Mayo, and he's been chopped. He's got the free kick.
He's been the pick of the Subi forwards so far.
Oh, put the mocker on him. Kicks into Jackman. Ball then gathered by Francis Cheney. Shares it with Clark with a good smother across the boot there by Davis, who wants to follow up with some argy-bargy.
Yeah. You know, that's a free kick, I think. If someone's tackled like that off the ball or holding a jumper even, is a good way to stop that sort of carry on from happening. Just play the free kick.
Eastland flicking it over the back. Here's Frederick. Brother Michael will be out there for the Dockers tonight. Gets the hand pass away to Eastland, who turns it over. Or is it coming back?
Off the ball, free kick again.
Relayed.
This one to Claremont.
Yeah.
That's the fifth one for the quarter.
Ill discipline. As Frederick was dealt with after he kicked it. So Gowdy gets the advantage. Long towards full forward. Great use of the body by Waterman. Dewar is a veteran, but he got rid of him again. Push and shove here between Morgan and Martinez. Martinez, though, just wants to settle it because his teammate's going to have a shot on goal.
Yeah, well, Alec Waterman's a class act inside 50. He's dangerous on the lead. He's super strong one-on-one, and he's a deadly kick, usually. But Bo Waterman, I think, would be seething at some of the stuff that Subi have dished up in this first quarter.
He's on the Eagles list at AFL level and then played with Essendon, and now he's back with Claremont, and he has given them the lead. They conceded the first two goals, but on the edge of quarter time, they're in front.
And we can see Greg Clark is going to give away another free kick here. He's all over. Yep, he's given it away, I think. Bailey Rogers off the ball again. And Subi just lost their bananas here.
Lovely long ball in. Waterman, one-on-one in space. He put it to his advantage side. He's so strong. Protects the area when the ball's on the fall. Takes a chest mark and goes back and converts truly. Bit of argy-bargy during the break. We thought there may have been a free kick, but it doesn't appear so that it's going to be. Yeah. The inside 50's last 10 minutes, 9-2 in Claremont's favour. They've been all over Subiaco.
And they've had 7 shots on goal as well from their 14 inside 50s, Claremont. They'll be happy with that.
Bolton, hurried kick up towards half forward. The back road. Receives it from Corbett. Kicks to the outer side. Robbins turns his opponent inside out. He's very pacey. Puts on the handbrake. Does the 360. A little bit of candy. Takes a bounce. Gets to within 65 metres. Punches it into the pocket. Mayo tackled by Hardesty. Chance in there still for Subiaco. Alone. Gets it back to Mayo to the top of the goal square. It was touched off hands. Wouldn't have been a mark anyway. Or touched off the boot. And put through for Subi's first minor score. So trail by 4 points. Bouncing the kick into play there. Davis back to Frederick. Hand passes now to Inverarity. Misses Frederick then. Subiaco can apply some pressure from a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, it's just poor awareness there by Frederick. When you're running, carrying the ball like that, all your forwards are expecting you to kick, not handball 5 metres to a player who's actually got someone on them in front of you. So he needed to kick that ball, Frederick, then.
Eastland and Eaton in the ruck. Eaton wins it down. Bolton steals it. Dangerous back into the corridor. Road with the spoil. He gets the recovery as well. Inside 50 or Porchett. Dropped what he should have taken there. Martinez soccers it on the volley out towards the outer side. How will the umpire view this? Deliberate.
Yep, no sufficient intent there. Porchett, isn't he, having a quarter? He's kicked a goal, but since then, they had a chance to really hurt Bolton for that kick back into the corridor.
Oh, it's a wet, windy day. You've got to let him off. And there is the siren. Quarter time here at Tigerland. Ash Prescott, as he walks out to the middle, will be more relieved than he was early in the game. Claremont at quarter time are up by 4 points. One of the most experienced umpires in the league, Ben Laycock, gets us underway in term 2. Charging through Foley to ground. Eastland, Bolton, England with the left boot out wide here. Presenting Masika, boundary line looming, a fumble, and we'll have a throw.
Definitely a breeze to the left of screen, so Subi looking to make the most of that this quarter.
Patrons wouldn't mind a bit of breeze out there either. It's a warm day in Perth once again. Leaning around, Eaton wins it down. Bolton there, cleverly. High kick. Back with the flight, Sheldrick. Loose ball, Masika. Hurry kick to half forward and an infringement. The free kick's going to go to Jackman for over the shoulder. From the attacking edge of the centre square, low into the pocket. Beautifully weighted kick. And Waterman is going to line up on goal.
Yeah, one-on-one, Alec. There's not too many better in the comp if you can kick it to his advantage. And on this occasion, a really well-weighted kick to the advantage of Alec Waterman. He uses his body really well, protects the drop zone. And on his left side here, the breeze will be pushing it slightly from right to left. It's not an easy kick, but it is a beautiful shot on goal, normally, Alec Waterman.
Tough contract for Galen Savini playing on him today. Beaten the one-on-one then. With the left foot, he starts it at the near goal post and it doesn't move to the left. Minor score opening the second quarter for the Tigers. Dewar getting a hurry up from the field umpire. Bombs it long to the outer side. Mayo the target. Hardesty the fist. Martinez at the fall. Strongly tackled. Is that a sling tackle? It is. Savini pleads his case, but I think that's a pretty fair decision. Head slamming into the turf there, Lockie Martinez.
It's a report too, I think.
Yes. Now, will there be a blue card? No.
It's only if Martinez is injured or needs an assessment.
Yeah, he seems okay, but umpire not happy with the nature of that tackle. Immediately he gets the ball from the umpire. Off he goes. Pulls his kick. In fact, it was touched off the boot. Out comes Eastland. Can't gather. Goes to ground. Liam Hickmott shoves him further into the turf. And the ball up just inside Claremont's 50. England. High kick. Won't have the carry to get over the line. No one can take the mark. Waterman is there, tracking it, taps it to his own advantage, props, snaps with the left boot. That's not a bad effort. It bounces into the goalpost.
Landed on the line at the centre.
Yeah, left arm orthodox, wasn't it? It just bounced the wrong way. Needed the left arm googly or leg spinner. Yeah, that's the shape of the ball. Sometimes it does weird things.
Gee, you can almost pencil that in most times for a goal, if not ink it in. Turned at 90 degrees, kick to the outer side. No one can take the mark. Eastland probably wants the boundary line. No, he keeps it alive. England slings it over his shoulder. It ends up with Sheldrick. Good use of the footy. Masika, the last link in the chain, 40 metres out.
Yeah, 30 minutes. It's the last Claremont goal, and in that time, the clearances have been, since the last Subiaco goal, the clearance has been 9-1 in Claremont's favour during that time.
So take a good kick as he's kicking into the sou'wester. One goal in his first game last week when he took on South Fremantle, and he misses there to the near side.
And this is something that Claremont just need to be a bit careful about. We saw them last week dominate the last quarter and kick 1 goal 8 to lose by less than a goal. And at the moment, they're 2 goals 8. It's just not good enough from an efficiency point of view. They need to be kicking at 60% accuracy at least. They should be 5 goals 3 or 6 goals 3 or better than 2-8.
Corbett out wide. Davis almost nudged into it by Borchard, who gets the bouncing ball off to Foley. Off to a teammate there in Francis Cheney, who's put it out on the full.
Almost come back in.
Free kick to Frederick. Robbins has been pulled back on the mark. Frederick punches it inboard. The umpire's saying that's not 15 metres. I've seen a lot paid that have been worse than that. Howard back to Frederick, spears it to half forward and Eastland. Bounces up, gives the hand pass away to Bolton. Long and low inside 50, crashing it is Gowdy. Claremont end up with it. Weston, the left foot snapshot, fading towards the pocket. Waterman did all the hard work, dropped the mark as he dragged it back in. Plays some primary school tunnel ball there. Sturgio lays the tackle on the boundary line. A clearing kick by Ferrone. Out very wide, Martinez, clever mark.
We see Mainwaring limping off the ground after that collision for the marking contest, so hopefully he's okay.
Kick deep into the pocket. Charging through, Masika gathers, snaps, and they've broken their line of behinds. Second career goal there for Jack Masika, extending the Claremont lead.
Masika's been very lively, leading up at the ball and working back hard, getting to really dangerous spots. And that was a classic Crumming goal, got to the right spot, dodged a little tackle and snapped truly under pressure. So an important goal to give Claremont the reward for effort that they've been deserved over the last 30 minutes.
And on the Crown replay there, we can see the true Crumming goal there, front and square as the ball hits the deck. That's where it's going to land, and like all good small forwards, finished off there. And Claremont 5 inside 50s to 0 this quarter. Really warning signs here for Subiaco. Claremont are right on top in the midfield, and they're getting repeat inside 50s.
Claremont using the fan down on the bench. We saw the Subiaco huddle dragged into the shadows of one of the apartment blocks at quarter time. Chance in there for Kitchen. Hand pass to Clark, former skipper to current skipper. Eastland lays the tackle.
Love the contest from Gowdy again, who created that spill in that forward line, which resulted in the goal. He's having a good game so far.
Eastland worked under it. Eaton taps it down. Clark goes to ground. Weston is there. Some wrestling. Clark rolls him over and puts him on his back. Still in the centre of the ground. Eastland in front, wins it down. Bolton under pressure. Waterman again uses the body well, but can't take the mark. Chance in there for Will Hickmott to Clark. Now off to Corbett. Powerful kick to right half forward alone. Nudged under it by Claremont's number 39 in Howard. Hardesty to Rogers. His hand pass intercepted though. Opportunity for Mayo. 48 metres out. Long and straight. Subiaco's first goal since the 5-minute mark of the opening term. They close to within 7.
He doesn't need much encouragement, Jack Mayo, when he gets the ball anywhere from 0 to 60. He sort of turns, you can tell his ears pinned back, and he really launches. He's a dangerous player, and he has been their most dangerous forward today. He presents well, and it's a beautiful left foot kick.
Long ball in, contest across that half-forward line. Mayo goes to it, gets some good pressure, tackle pressure. Ball comes to his way, and 3 steps from the left, right on 48 metres. and kicks it 3 goalpost high. Much needed one. They haven't had too many inside 50s, but that can hurt Claremont when they go down and score one straight away.
Tossed up back in the middle. Rogers laying the tackle in there, reaching over. The ball actually comes back to him, but the umpire saying he didn't do it deliberately.
Clark was involved in that score chain. That was only his 3rd effective disposal for the game. He's a player that can really lift and give Subi some momentum.
Eastland from clean possession, gets it up towards Manuel, gets the hand pass away to DeLacy. Haven't seen a lot of him today, and his kick goes out of play.
Well, that clearance domination from Claremont from halfway through the first quarter has continued. It's 5-zip so far in the second quarter.
Well, between now and June, WAFL Wonderland at various grounds. There's DJs after the game, food experiences. You can see some activities for the kids. So get involved in that when you come to WAFL matches between now and the middle of the season. England laying a tackle that will be a free kick to Sullivan. Taken over the right shoulder. That's not 15 metres, surely to Clark. It's the turn and wheel, go. Comes out wide. Well-weighted kick. Unfortunately for Claremont, Davis lost his footing, which made it pretty easy in the end for Subiaco to take the grab through Henderson. Up towards half forward. Offhand, Becerra goes to ground. Gets a hand pass away to Howard, to Martinez. Eastland. Frederick, how will the umpire view that? No prior opportunity. Again, a little bit of frayed temper.
Just hurt himself a little bit there, Frederick, whether it's his knee or ankle. He's a bit proppy.
Dwyer tosses it into the air. Eaton works his way in front, palms it down, but straight to Inverarity. Kicks high towards the wing. The bounce favours Subiaco. They've got numbers at the back. Corbett goes in towards the centre square. Made a mess of it though. Intercepted by Jackman. Bounces it towards 50. Subiaco well played. Savini nearly lost it. Hand passes along the line. Beringer keeps it in. His hand pass then sets somewhat of a task for Francis Cheney. He's tackled, loops a hand pass into the air, crunch. Eastland came in hard there on Sullivan. And again, that will see some tempers spray.
Great play by Sullivan. It would have been very easy just to tap that one, but he knew what was coming. Didn't make sure it went out of bounds, so his team went under pressure.
Well, not too sure what Bailey Rogers is doing in the ruck. He gets the hand pass off then towards Western, long towards full forward. Beautifully weighted kick. Gowdy will line up on goal. Well, that was interesting. Bailey Rogers must have said to the umpire that I am the ruckman here, which was interesting because there was quite a stoppage here on the wing while they were pushing and shoving.
I think both rucks were in the melee. Oh. Bailey Rogers was smart enough to say he was the ruck. His opponent didn't, which gave him unfair advantage to the ball and a great kick to advantage.
Well, they've missed this man early in the season, Kieran Gowdy. When they were thumped here in round 2 by East Fremantle, they just didn't have any height inside 50. So he came back last week in the loss to Souths. This for his first of the afternoon, and he puts it through. So Subiaco getting the goal, but Claremont getting the reply.
Bit of a melee. The rucks were involved. Bailey Rogers was set up. I think his opponent was Riley Morgan, who I presume didn't nominate, which meant Bailey knew he could take that ball clean, dishes it off, and a long kick towards Gowdy, who has only had 4 disposals, but has been very important up forward for Claremont.
And Ryan Bourchette, I think he needs to have a chat with the coach at half-time, just get his head in the game, because he should have been doing that ruck work, but he was fighting. See there, beautiful kick to the advantage of Gowdy, thanks to the crown for the replay, and Gowdy finishes off. He's been very lively up there, and Claremont dominant so far this quarter, inside 57-1. They've hit the scoreboard a couple of times.
So I mentioned Claremont lacking some height up forward in their opening 2 games of the season. Gowdy's helped rectify that. Eastland taps it onto the back of his opponent there, who is Borchett, the man that Michael mentioned a moment ago. His kick, not overly creative, towards the outer edge of the centre square. Bolton in there laying the tackle. Clark slings it out alone, trying to tap it up to his own advantage. Another fumble, but he's supported by Francis Cheney. Props back onto his left boot to the attacking 50. Going to ground at the back. In there was Davis. Kitchen. Crossed the body towards the top of the goal square. Fisted down back there by the Tigers. It comes out to Alone. Gives it off to Sturgeon. Robbins gets it and grubbers it home. Well, they made heavy weather of it. It wasn't really pretty, but most importantly, they've got another goal.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Subiaco's method of operation is either Jack Mayo or scrambled sort of ground balls. There's not a lot of connection down there and a lot of smooth ball movement, so they just make the most of their opportunities and some good scrambling there to kick the goal.
So Robbins on the scoreboard. Subiaco maintaining touch.
Just good scrumming play, pushing the ball forward at all stages. Sturgeon gets a dribble and Robbins finishes with the goal. Just before that one, so the Subiaco runner come out, put Mayo deep, every player up. That's what they're going to do, and then run with the ball if they can get it over the back towards Mayo. And probably not a bad play at this stage of the game.
Portrait remaining in the ruck for this next bounce up against Eastland. Eastland wins it down through the hands of Weston. Alone a fumble. Liam Hickmott's hand pass knocked down. Portrait tackled. Ricochets back to Liam Hickmott. Hurried kick. Bounces in open space. Knocked down in favour of Howard to England to Weston, who does have pace. He's forced to go wide by hand though. Alvarez had a good opening quarter, kicks out very wide. The target was Waterman, got rid of his man, kept it in right on the chalk, deep inside 50. Gowdy again, that is a good grab. He's making it tough down there. Last mark was against Savini, that one is against Berringer. Again, this will take a good kick. Kicking into the southwesterly breeze here at Revo Fitness Stadium. His third mark, coming in for what could be his second goal. Sends it on its way. Doesn't really spin like an orthodox drop punt in front. The mark was dropped by Clark, but they're able to clear the ball. Sullivan, the kick. Rogers, the hand pass. It comes back then to Eastland. Left foot, check side, the big ruckman. That is some sort of skill for a man that height, gathering at his bootlaces, and then with the check side, putting it through.
Yeah, Borchet has actually done okay in the ruck with a couple of clearances, but that was his man there, Eastland, and he needed to be accountable for him. Eastland's pushed forward. Borchet was probably just trying to take more the space, but Eastland, good skill for ruck, isn't he? Get the ball off the ground, check side, into the breeze, an important goal.
See here on the replay, Eastland just finds himself in a bit of space with Borchet sagging off him. You can see Borchet there on the right-hand side of the screen. He's actually in the goal square, number 14 there. So he's a fair way off Ollie Eastland, his direct opponent, and he's a little bit like a small Tim English. He's very skillful, and he's got some tricks around the ground. And you don't often see a ruckman kick a banana like that. Great piece of play.
Probably spent his first 2 seasons at centre-half forward for Claremont. And became a makeshift ruckman, a very effective one. Whistle on play advantage. England gives it off to Eastland. Inside 50. Rode overran the footy. Savini there. Desperation. Rode gets it off to Ferrone. A little one towards the defensive 50, not 15 metres. Hickmott into the centre square. Clark immediately takes a bounce. Goes out wide then towards the wing. Foley looping the hand pass to Francis Cheney. Takes a bounce. Goes short. Not too sure about the wisdom of that. Foley is there. Becerra takes him towards the line and beyond.
Ugly ball movement, wasn't it? There was a few. Clark wanted to give the ball, and that player went to Shepherd, and then it was just not decisive
I'm
at all.
trying to work out whether it's the forwards that cause the ball movement problems or whether the ball movement problems are impossible for the forwards to get on the end of, because Subi have all sorts of problems connecting when they go forward.
Mayo in front of Eastland, wins it down. Eastland soccers it off the ground. Teammate it went to is immediately collared by Ferrone. Nowhere for Masika to go.
I don't think we've seen Mainwaring come off the ground, have we?
No, I haven't seen him go back. There he is on the bench. Ball up. Alone's kick, knocked down at close quarters by Eastland. Ricochets to Liam Hickmott. Gets a hand pass over the top. They're going to keep it rolling here. Clark. Hand pass knocked down back there cleverly by Howard. Does well under pressure. Gets it off then towards Pasira. Long kick to the outer side. Bolton with the flight. Can't take the mark.
Being clean's most underrated skill in footy. Greg Clark, who's normally very clean, he takes that, probably dishes it off, and a fairly easy shot on goal. Instead he fumbles it, puts him under pressure. Claremont managed to get the ball out for a stoppage on the far side.
You can see the inside 50s there. Claremont have had dominance going into the breeze as well, 9-4. But Subia been quite lethal when they have got it in there. They've kicked a couple of goals.
Saw Zach Mainwaring on the bench there. The left knee's pretty heavily strapped. He's still in his playing strip though, so I don't know whether he's out of the game. Eastland, Eaton works his way in front of him. Alvarez gives it off to the excitement machine. Frederick takes a bounce, backs himself down the outer edge of the centre square, misses Waterman on the lead. Sullivan off to Savini, shunted as he kicked across the half back line. Will Hickmott looping the hand pass to Ferrone. He goes short, trying to vacuum on the half volley. Henderson, Sheldrick now, he goes to ground. Eastland loops a hand pass out to Weston. Kick Claremont into their attacking half. Good pick up, half volley there by Manuel, waiting for an outside runner. Weston under pressure, uses the right boot, floats it inside 50. Here's Gowdy again. Wheels and goes. Long towards the goal square. Has it been touched? It has. Corbett just getting a hand on it. It was online, but Gowdy denied his second. Great lunging save there by Corbett, right on the line. Even the fullbacks are sucking in oxygen. Corbett long towards the outer side. Eastland, yes, does take it on the juggle opposed to Eaton. Thought about laying a short hand pass to Alvarez. He's got Bolton lurking around him. This is so often when Bolton gets the footy with his thumping kick, but Eastland says, leave it to me. Dobs it towards full forward. Waterman has got the free kick. Now this time, it's Drew Rowe.
Yeah.
He's outmarked Savini a moment ago, outmarked Berringer. Now he's got Rowe on him and he's earned a free kick.
Yep, that's his third one-on-one inside 50 win. He's either marked it or got a free kick on this occasion. So he's a player that if you can isolate and then kick it to him, good things will happen. Very gettable kick. Punch it slightly at the right post and the breeze will just drift it back.
Well, his last shot on goal landed on the line and broke left into the goal post. He's got 1 goal, 2 as a result. Can he get it on batting of 500 in baseball parlance? He can. Sneaks it into the left. So second goal, the first multiple goal scorer of the afternoon, Alec Waterman.
Yeah, well, in reality, Claremont are dominating this game. So it's 20 clearances to 14, inside 50s 25 to 18 in favour of Claremont. Shots on goal, 15 to 5. So really, Subia just hanging in there and need to have a look at what they're trying to achieve and make some changes in the second half. We can see Ollie Eastland there kicking it in, identifying the one-on-one with Alec Waterman, which is a great matchup to have. If you can find him one-on-one, kick it to him all day, every day, because good things happen. He's a very good kick on goal, very strong one-on-one, and he's either going to mark it or get a free kick or cause the defender to make some sort of error. So Claremont completely dominant here at the moment. 15 scoring shots to 5.
Claremont have Jackman in the ruck at the moment. He wins it off the deck in the end. Can't come away, though, under the tackle from Eaton at ground level. This time Eaton wins it down. Rogers tackled to ground by Foley. Another ball up.
We saw Subi beat Peel a couple of weeks ago at Leaderville Oval, and they played a great brand of football where they lowered their eyes and they kept possession of the ball by foot. And I think that is the method that they need to incorporate here today against Claremont, because at the moment they're just not doing that.
Sturgio to Kitchen, now to Sullivan. Goes up towards the lead of Mayo. Shunted past the ball illegally by Hardesty. Jack Mayo's got the free. Even for him, too far out to score. Here's a thumping kick. Takes a little bit off it though, up towards full forward and onto the chest of Luke Foley. Not sure that was the intended target, but they'll take the result.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't, but quite often when you follow out a leading player like that, it can land in your lap. And Luke Foley was the recipient, the beneficiary, but in the right place at the right time. So he goes back and will have quite a gettable shot on goal.
Played 26 games for the Eagles at WAFL level and 32 for the Eagles at AFL level. And he's hit the right goalpost. It was one they desperately needed on the cusp of half-time here. It was a rather casual approach. One other game being played today. There are 6 teams that have the bye. And at half-time, 16-point lead in the Derby at Mineral Resources Park to Peel over West Coast. There's another Derby coming up after this game. West Coast versus Fremantle at Optus Stadium. Big Saturday of footy on 7.
I'm not sure what time Frederick would run 100 in, but he is super quick.
Yeah.
And they obviously set up from the back line to try and get the ball in his hands.
He and Weston give him some real dash around the ground. Alvarez's hand pass will go out under the possession of Eaton. Here it is, our AFL Derby coverage after this game. West Coast showing that there are some green shoots with the result from last weekend, their first win of the season. From behind, Eaton knocks it forward, gets it back on the bounce. Socket off the ground in there by Subiaco, but to no advantage. Alvarez crashed to ground. The spillage gathered by Robbins. High kick flirting with the boundary line. It's gone out on the full. Yes. Casira to restart from the shadows into the brilliant sunshine. Jackman the target on the outer side. He wins it on the ground, gives it off to Masika, throws it hurriedly on the boot. Coming out, Gowdy can't take the mark. Has he received a free kick? He has. Geez, causing some aerial issues at the moment for Subiaco. Gowdy now goes in towards Masika. That seemed to be an illegal spoil. Surely the arms were chopped there. The umpire says no. Will Hickmott wide. And the mark taken by Henderson. Comes around onto his left boot. Powerful kick up towards full forward. Well done back there in defence though. Borchett outmarked by Casira. He'll come across the defensive goal mouth to Peace. He's got Frederick on offer short. Clears him, but he's got plenty of time and space. Applies the handbrake. Can't wriggle out of the tackle though. Gets it away then to England, ducking and diving. Hand pass to Inverarity from right on the boundary line. Coming out, Savini didn't even think about marking, just fists it into the fence. Boundary throw in right in front of our commentary position as Borchett comes off and another key forward, Mayo, goes on for Subiaco. Eaton, lovely palm, there is Mayo, just slipped through the interchange, shares the ball with Clark, being held. Almost a professional free kick given up there by Claremont because Mayo would have been charging forward had he not been just held up. He goes short. Sturgio marks his hand pass though. Picked off by Bailey Rogers off the side of the boot. Waterman is there, breaks one tackle onto his preferred left boot. Floats it towards 50. Gowdy can't mark it this time. Dewar sockers it off the ground. Manuel goes to ground. Dewar slings a hand pass out for Roan, linking up with Rode. Rode short. What's that for? Ball is being reversed.
Another one off the ball.
Yeah.
See it.
Now, short kick straight onto the chest of Alex Manuel. Good use of the footy there and good lowering of the eyes by Masika. And Alex Manuel can line up in the shadows of half-time. Gee, there have been some off the ball free kicks today. Half a dozen at least in this opening half, which would raise the ire of both coaches. Alex Manuel always has a very patient build-up. The ball laid at his feet. Take a good kick. He'll just need to start it towards the right goalpost with this sou'wester. Sends it on its way. He didn't do that. He started it at the wrong goalpost and it's gone out of bounds on the full. That's a rare poor shot on goal by Alex Manuel. Beringer with the restart. Short. Dewar wants to go on with it immediately. Comes out high. Foot race on here towards the boundary line. I think the line will win.
Yeah, well, it's been a frustrating half, I think, for Subiaco in terms of what they're trying to do. And there's a good example of it there. You see Dewar, who's a lovely penetrating kick. Excuse me. Just blazes. And that ball goes out of bounds.
Have a water.
I'm going to have a water.
Ball thrown in. Eastland wins it down. Clark over the footy, taken to ground as he tries to get to his feet by Bolton. Back with us?
I hope so.
Excellent. No, the frog's gone by the sound of it. Bolton there, another whistle on play. The umpire back in the centre square has picked out a free kick in favour of Bailey Rogers. Spotted by the umpire 45 metres away.
So clearly Bo Wolverton needs to have a chat to his players at half-time and say, we can't continue to give away free kicks off the ball like we've done in the first half. That's message number one. And he needs to grab the leaders and have a good chat to them about what they're trying to do.
Rogers towards right full forward. Gowdy had a little bit of separation, couldn't take the mark. Off hands, Manuel punches it low towards the goal line and bounces through the square. Alvarez is there, fisted away by Ferrone. But lurking near the boundary line is Peace. Gives it off to Alvarez. Back towards the goal square. Beringer the fist. Masika the crumbing. And he has missed.
He thought he had it. He was quite happy. He had the celebration going. He gets in good spots, doesn't he? Masika, he's dangerous there. He's got some turn of foot at ground level and he crumbs very well. But, yeah, look, just repeat inside 50s now for Claremont. 28-21 for the half.
Perhaps over the goalpost, that kick. He did kick it very high. As you said, he started to celebrate. Golding tackled the ground. Well laid there by Weston. And half-time here at Revo Fitness Stadium. Claremont was slow out of the blocks. They conceded the first 2 goals. But since then, they have pretty much controlled the ruck. So we're back underway here at Revo Fitness Stadium. Eaton wins it down. Liam Hickmott. Clever, gets it out to Foley, up towards half forward. That's a good positive start. The mark taken by Subiaco. They go low inside 50, but errantly alone. Couldn't find a target. Claremont desperate to force a ball up. I'd love to get the first goal here, Subiaco, just to give them some sort of impetus. Eastland wins it down. Subiaco can't break away though. The tackle laid on alone by Peace. Eastland swats it away. Chance in here for Foley, under pressure. Gets the hand pass to Will Hickmott. Cross the body to full forward. Fisted away by Davis. Grabbed overhead by Sheldrick. Hand pass won't clear the area though. Liam Hickmott knocked down then by Foley. Claremont trying to knock the ball away. In fact, almost socket away at short notice there by Hardesty, and a ball up right on the 50 for the Lions.
Zach Mainwaring hasn't reappeared. And he was strapped to looked like a lateral knee injury, so hopefully not the worst case scenario, but still it's unlikely to come out.
Eastland dominating the ruck here, but they can't clear it, Claremont. Liam Hickmott's kick goes wide and will go out of play.
It looks like Subiaco is starting Greg Clark at half forward, and he's then injecting himself into those stoppages, perhaps to give Subi an extra bigger body around the stoppage and help them clear the ball and get those clearances numbers back in their favour.
It's probably too dangerous to leave alone as well, so it means that he has an opponent following him.
Eastland, another ruck win off to England. There is Clark taking the mark. In fact, not Clark, it's Corbett in the shadows.
ones very close together, aren't they, that jumper?
Yeah. Everyone in Subiaco's attacking half. It's making it difficult to find targets in there. Mayo was the one they were looking for. Gets a hand pass away. Bolton on his knees, shovels it out. Clark gives to Francis Cheney. Shoots on goal from the stand start. Well done. Davis swatting it towards the line. England has kept it in. Check side kick then beyond the defensive 50. Crashing the pack. Eaton with the fist. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Quite often you would have seen a defender there. England taking the ball out and play. He was right on the chalk when he gathered it. So backed himself. Claremont couldn't get it beyond the defensive 50. Eaton used the body well. Here's England again. Quick kick. Claremont trying to wriggle out with the footy there through Jackman. Not successfully.
Subiaco have created a plus one with Luke Foley. If a quick kick out's likely to come to him, then he can probably move the ball to the far side of the ground.
Eastland wins it down to England. Quick kick into the centre square. Subiaco going to ground in there. The tackle was being laid by Howard.
It's a really good job Waterman there to come up and equalise with that spare and make sure that Foley didn't get away.
Yep, that was Waterman indeed laying that tackle. Here's Eaton, gives it off to Clark. He's collared immediately by Rogers. The ball then comes back to him off the shin of DeLacy. Bolton is there. Off to Eastland. Up towards half forward. Gowdy beaten by the bounce. He does well. He tackles Berringer, who alluded to the fact he might have copped one a little bit high as he went down. He's signalling the umpire now whilst on his knees. Hang on up. The umpire having none of it, and Gowdy puts it onto the chest of Manuel. But as soon as Gowdy went to challenge him, his hand went up to his jaw there to try and signify that he'd been taken high. But the umpire saying, no, there is Berringer. And as he was talking, Gowdy found Manuel.
We showed some vision of Warren Ralph. Manuel's not dissimilar, and he's a very good timer of the lead. He's okay one-on-one, but he's very good at reading the play and getting out to taking what looks like an easy, uncontested mark, but he's done the work early, similar to Warren Ralph.
Alex Manuel, one goal, one behind, and one out of bounds on the full. Sends it on its way. That is a beautiful kick. So despite Subiaco doing the bulk of the attacking early in this quarter, it is Claremont that gets the first goal.
Yeah, we definitely thought he copped one high, and I think that affected him with his ability to get rid of the footy because he got pinged for holding the ball in the end. But I think he was hoping the umpire was going to pay the free kick, so paid the ultimate price. And I think while they were all complaining, Claremont capitalised and marked it inside 50.
So Berringer complaining to the umpire, but it was too late for the Max's tyre replay, and a really good pass from Gowdy, and Manuel times his lead to perfection, and the kick it had to be centimetre perfect to get over the player in between them, and then Manuel makes no mistake as well. So all of a sudden, 26-point lead.
Well, since they've got Kieran Gowdy back into this lineup, it has made a difference. Been very dominant overhead. He was very good there with the tackle, even though Berringer thought it was an illegal one. This is Bolton up towards half forward. Not a kind bounce for Waterman. He then lays the tackle on Sullivan, and the umpire will ball it up.
Since Jack Buller's disappeared, went to the draft, they've really missed a player like him, and Gowdy's playing that role really well today.
Fumble by Kitchen. He's got support running by in Corbett. Corbett goes straight down the spine to centre half forward. Orchard rather casual at that football. Mayo lays the tackle. Ball comes out in favour of Claremont's Martinez. Interesting looking kick through the middle of the ground. Meeting it full chested is Foley. Loops the hand pass to Will Hickmott. Turns into the centre square. Penetrative kick towards left half forward. Orchard actually ended up flying and trying to spoil. Robbins bounces off an opponent. Didn't panic. Feeds Kitchen. Kitchen goes towards Mayo's strong mark, opposed to Anthony Davis.
He's really looked their most likely avenue to goal, Jack Mayo, when he gets some separation, and Subi have got some time to deliver to him, as Lee Kitchen finds here. Just checks his kick out in front, and Mayo marks the ball at the highest point all the time with his arms extended. So he's giving them a good target up forward, let's see if he can kick a much-needed goal here for Subi.
13th disposal for the game coming up.
Could become their first multiple goal scorer if he's accurate from 40 metres. Kicks it very high and drifts to the right. Subi just need to find some sort of momentum shift here. Down by 25 points. Claremont looking to bring it out from beyond their defensive 50. Weston. Awkward delivery low down to Rogers, who pulls it back in after marking. Will Hickmott, well tackled out there by Alvarez. It's the ball off to Foley, but Martinez at the drop.
25 minutes since the last goal, Subiaco, and just having trouble connecting inside 50 again.
Martinez running along the boundary line, dumps it wide. Eastland the target, and the ball fisted out of play. It's been an issue. Subiaco kicked their second goal at the 5-minute mark, had to wait to the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, and then got their second goal in that term at the 14-minute mark, and here we are at the 8-minute mark of the third. So they've had very, very long, lean patches this afternoon as far as goal scoring. Eastland, high kick towards 50. Gowdy in front, makes it a contest. Socket away there by Dewar. Across the half-back line. Foot races on. Sturgio gets there first. Back across the body. Free kick. Claremont giving it away. It's fairly obvious pull of the jumper there by Peace. A free kick to Henderson. Kitchen. Clark. Over the top now to Francis Cheney, back across the body. Well, it was too much carried for Borcher, but he was slipping anyway. Davis goes into the spine of the ground and finds Bolton. Bolton coming out looking for Gowdy over his head at the back, trying to tap to his own advantage. Manuel gathers, dragged down by Savini after he'd hand passed it forward. Galen Savini's had a tough time in defence when he's been on Manuel today. Martinez has just drifted along the boundary line. He thought about going that way, but then goes inboard to Frederick. Frederick, long and low towards full forward. Hands up, no one can mark. Ground level ball. Dewar, Clark, and now Foley, who turns it over straight to Alex Manuel. He wants to go quickly up towards full forward. Gowdy is there. Comes to the front of the pack. DeLacy, haven't seen a lot of him. Perhaps would have been better taking the snapshot when he had a bit of space. Clark gets it off to Sullivan, to Ferrone, and then the kick out wide. And it ends up okay out there. Francis Cheney short to Mayo. He's well down the ground. He's in the back half for Subiaco.
Very well organised Claremont here. To make it difficult for Subi to get through.
Goes along the boundary line. Davis using the body well. He's got the boundary line one side, but he comes inboard to Martinez. Martinez links up immediately by hand with the dangerous Bolton. Well weighted kick to half forward. Unable to mark Waterman. Support at ground level. Bailey Rogers puts it up into the path here of Gowdy, the big man. The turning circle was okay, but he didn't strike the right part of the footy. Drew Rowe. Hand passes back defensively to Foley, to Berringer, and then they'll almost score. They will. Looking for Corbett, let off his palm, through for a behind.
Yeah, well, kicking efficiency for both sides has been poor. It's 52% currently for Claremont, 50% for Subi, which is about 10% below what you would expect from a kicking efficiency point of view. So they've struggled to connect with their passes to their teammates.
Road will be into the path at Kitchen. Golding misses Clark. This allows Frederick into the contest. He's got great pace, great agility as well. Off to Bolton. Bolton long towards centre half forward at the back. The mark's been taken by Corbett, but there's an infringement at the front. And DeLacy has got the free kick. Shepherding called by the umpire. So DeLacy, who's had a quiet afternoon.
Oh, just a little nudge from behind.
Yeah, two hands in the middle of the back.
DeLacy, who last year shared the leading goal kicker trophy with Zach Mainwaring here at Claremont. They both kicked 30 goals. Mainwaring Hasn't been sighted since half-time with a left knee injury which ruled him out of the game. DeLacy runs inboard, pulls it fractionally back across the body. Powerful kick, but another behind to the Tigers.
It often happens when you arc out to your right side as a right footer that you miss to the right-hand side. He had the distance. Perhaps he should have run straighter.
2-1 on the scoreboard at the moment, so Subiaco are under real pressure. They go towards the outer wing and the ball will come back. Hardesty giving it up to Rogers. Very high kick towards full forward. Road is there, takes the mark. Another free kick to Claremont.
Yeah, Beringer was trying to keep Gowdy out of the contest, and it was a subtle one that you probably would have got away with a couple of years ago, but the umpires keeping their eye on that now. So we have another look. This people wasn't really subtle, was it? It was just a...
No, the early contact was pretty obvious.
It's been a terrific target up forward today, Kieran Gowdy. He's dead in front. 35 metres, the goal is away from him, and he has put it through. Subiaco now really have a major task on their hands. Gowdy gets his second, and the lead almost getting out of hand.
Subiaco had a little bit of momentum. The last 4 or 5 minutes have been all Claremont, and just looked like they were going to score at some stage. And a couple of free kicks inside 50 don't help. But that shows that the defenders are feeling the pressure down there. And on that occasion, it was Beringer on Gowdy, and Gowdy then goes back and adds to his good day.
.33-point lead now to Claremont over Subiaco. Jai Bolton, the dual Sandover medalist, has put the headset on. Jai, first of all, the conditions out there. It's very hot today. How are you finding it?
Yeah, no, it is very warm. The sun's a bit of a stinger, but both teams got to do it, so it is what it is.
Slow start out of the blocks, conceding the first 2 goals, but pretty much have controlled the game since then.
Yeah, we're a bit disappointed with the start. It's a bit of a focus for us coming into the game, so to give up those 2 early ones was not ideal, but proud of the boys to see the arm wrestle to get it back in our favour.
Good on you. Thanks a lot, Jai. Get some rest up on the bench. No doubt we'll be back into the action very quickly. Liam Hickmott gets the ball off then towards Foley, up towards left full forward, meeting it on the bounces Hardesty, in Vererity, backwards then to Pasira. High kick, flirting with the wrong side of the boundary line in the end. Free kick to Subi. Foley sets it high inside the attacking 50. Mayo spoilt. Sheldrick's hand pass knocked down. Kitchen quickly across the body. A couple of Claremont players back there. Alvarez leaves it for Davis. Kicks inside the centre square. Big leap there by the Tigers. Almost in hope rather than expectation by Jackman. Sharing it back there. Borchett receives it back from Savini. Kicks very wide. Foley will find the ball in a little bit of space. Supported by Sturgio. He's short and strong mark by Clark. Not too sure about the wisdom of that kick. Kick to a 2-on-1. Claremont had the ascendancy. Liam Hickmott hacks it forward. Well done in there by Golding. Gets it to Corbett, and he gets a much-needed goal for the Lions. Subiaco not quite done and dusted yet.
Yeah, sometimes that lateral kick, even if it is to a contest and it spills to ground, funny things can open up. It was a risky kick by Clark and it wasn't a great option, but it fell Subi's way and Corbett got on the end of it. He's a nice mover, Corbett, off half-back. He does give them a little bit of penetration, a little bit of run, and it was a good finish there.
Max's replay here. It was a risky kick to the middle to 2-on-1, but 2 flew from Claremont, which meant that Subi had the extra numbers on the ground. Good slick hand pass and a lovely finish as well from Corbett, which gives Subi that little bit of chance. We know Claremont haven't been winning, so there's always in your mind until you get that first win. Subi do come home with the breeze, so they probably need another one to really put the pressure on.
It's their first goal since the 14-minute mark of the second turn. The elastic was about to break and they conceded a goal rather than scoring that one. It could have been game over, but they're back to within 27. Eastland staying down, wins it down. His opposite number, Eaton, gathers. Hand pass to Foley. It's not a great hand pass. Liam Hickmott, though, goes and finds it, gives it back to Foley. Bounces a kick towards the wing in Verity. A strong tackle. Will Hickmott gets the footy away towards Dewar. Dewar then off to Corbett, slung to ground. Sheldrick, Martinez, now getting it off to Weston. They've got some players lining up across half-back. Pearce is one of them. That is a well-weighted kick, although Masika couldn't get there in time to mark it. Follows up on the bounce. Kicks up towards Rogers. Going back there, though, and beating into the footy is Sullivan. Good tackle by Rogers. England with strength. Hand passes back to Rogers. Knocks it down. Manuel, though, can't get past. Good tackle laid in there by Subiaco. Corbett in the very last line of defence. The only thing between Manuel and the goal, and he did well. Eastland tried to kick it over his head from the ruck contest. Taken to ground in there, I think, is Clark, buried by DeLacy.
Well, DeLacy can take a bow because it's his pressure on the wing that resulted in Claremont counter-attacking and getting the ball into their forward 50. A fantastic couple of tackles.
Gowdy taps it down. Manuel the snap. Goal. Quick reply by Claremont. Great piece of ruck work. Great goal awareness by Alex Manuel, who's kicked his third.
Yeah, Gowdy just used his body strongly. I wasn't sure his opponent in the ruck was on that occasion, but used his body strong and then a nice soft hands to Manuel, who was coming through at pace. He handled it cleanly and in the end an easy goal to him, but great work from Gowdy, who's been in a lot of their goals, even if he's only kicked a couple.
And the Max's Tyres replay. You can see the stoppage here on the top of the square, and Manuel just gets on the fly. And two Subiaco defenders looking at each other saying, who's on him? Well, he's a forward. Work it out, boys. He's got a direct opponent, and Alex Manuel, very smart on the fly, and a good lesson there for any young player at forward 50 stoppages. If you want to make good things happen and kick scores, get on the move.
Back to 2-1 on the scoreboard again in favour of Claremont. Alone towards centre half forward in front, dropping the mark down there. Claremont through Peace, gathers, hand pass to Weston, may have almost been grabbed before he had the footy. We'll have a ball up. And Subiaco find the response. They will have a breeze in the last quarter, but it's not a strong one. They've got to bridge this gap. Some aerial ping pong comes to Liam Hickmott, can't affect a kick. Ends up with Weston receiving it and kicking it wide. Clark in front, can't take the mark. Well tackled in the end. The ball slung forward. In fact, it's Corbett. The numbers that 2-1s are close together. Alone. Grubbers the kick inside 50. Nearly got past the Claremont defence. Golding's hand pass, not creative. And there'll be a ball up 40 metres. No, there won't be a ball up. It's going to be a free kick. Don't forget, there's plenty of things to get involved in with the WAFL. A win-win at all the WAFL games. You can round up the family, the friends, bring them down here. All you need to do is to go to wafl.com.au and you can book your tickets. Claremont down the outer side. Rogers with a bounce. Long towards full forward. Wrestle on down there. No one can take the mark. Ball comes out wide. Subiaco wanting the boundary line. They won't find it. Rogers concedes ground. Waterman takes the mark and one across the ear as well. Kemper's afraid today. That's not going to help the issue. Waterman's got a 50-metre penalty. He seems to be okay because he's sprinting towards the goal line and puts it through for his third. That was very strong play because Waterman would have known with the peripheral vision he was going to get cleaned up. Didn't flinch. Another goal to Claremont.
Yeah, well, let's hope that two teams go to separate hotels tonight. Perhaps the Subi hotel for the Subi boys and maybe the Claremont for the Claremont boys, because there's not a great deal of love lost out there. There's a fair bit of feeling, and Waterman just got copped one over the ears as he took the mark. Yeah, Subi really unravelling defensively today.
Really good play from Rogers. Good vision. Look back. Waterman strong. Come through the opposition ruck there and the 50 and moved quick as Frederick when he found out there was 50 available for him. Waterman, he took off and he kicks his third goal.
Well, it's actually smart because he kicked the goal before the umpire can reverse it in case something really strange happens, which does happen, as we've seen. So he kicks the goal quickly, which is really good thinking by Waterman.
Claremont really stretching the elastic here now. Eaton, who gave away that free kick, even though it was a mark, I guess, to Waterman. Contest the ruck. An advantage free kick. Claremont have it. England streams away from the centre circle. Gowdy, the target, just a little bit too much carry on the kick. Savini at ground level. Very wide. Masika floats and takes the mark. He concedes a little bit of ground. He misses England. He's set a task for him now. Coming from the other direction, though, he's got a teammate in Brockman. Socket away by Subi. Slung over the head by Golding. Foley hassled off the ball with ease there by Frederick, who toe pokes it towards the line. Keeps it in the end. No, it's gone out. Hand pass to England outside the chalk.
Trent, do you think it's been Claremont's forward 50 pressure or Subi's lack of system that's caused Subi to struggle so much to move the ball out of their back 50 today?
They just haven't hit a target. Just that they sort of hit that one little one to give them some composure. They're marked, and they're still only at 22 marks for the game, which is just ridiculously low. So they've had no control.
The first of the derbies today. 69-point lead at the moment to peel over West Coast. Hopefully that won't be as lopsided with the AFL teams tonight on 7 after this game at Optus Stadium. Golding right on the boundary line. Borchert being led to the ball, though, by Davis. Alvarez, Weston the hand pass into the corridor. Davis was almost a fumble. It was in the end by Peace. He's still got a little bit of space, though. Weston backwards to Pasira. Pasira then roosts it high towards the outer wing. Off hands Bolton, look away hand pass. England tried to soccer it, didn't make contact. Now he's got about 4 lines to beat on the ground. Robbins dishes up to Foley, up towards half forward. Golding in front, couldn't take the mark. Tackled well in there, and there'll be a stoppage. I must admit, Ryan Borchert's been disappointing today up forward.
That battle, Davis has been complete, sort of says where the game's at. He's been dominant, I think, over Borchert.
Just some of his attacking the footy just seems a bit casual today, as Jackman having a run in the ruck. Grubbered inside 50 by Robbins.
Yeah, well, I will support that, Glenn. His best is A-grade WAFL football. I've seen him play some terrific games, but for whatever reason today, he's well off the mark.
Well, there is Zach Mainwaring out of the playing strip into the polo. That we wait to see now early in the week how long he's going to be out with a left knee injury, which saw him limp from the ground well before half-time. You see the ice on it. No one can come away again. England laying a strong tackle. Time running out for Subiaco here to hit the board before 3/4 time. Jackman in the ruck, in front Henderson, wins it down. Again, England the tackler. Kitchen almost kicks that forward off his knee. No one can take the mark. Weston, supported by Bolton. Powerful kick back across his body towards the outer wing. No one can mark. Gowdy is there, trying to get into the path of Sheldrick, who in the end is cast as the tackler and does a very good job. Pause in scoring in the last few minutes. Eaton flicks it over his head, wriggling out of the tackle alone. Over a pack of 4. Pieces back there. Well tackled to ground by Golding. Ball spills free. Chance in there for Bolton. Off to Pasira. Crosses the defensive 50 to the outer wing. It's all Subiaco meeting it. Foley marks, plays on inside 50. They've got a mark. They haven't taken too many of them inside the arc today, but a chance here for Henderson to line up on goal.
Yeah, it was just the poor kick out of the D50 by Claremont, which resulted in a direct turnover. Ping-pong football coming straight back inside the forward 50, and this time marked by Campbell Henderson, and this is much needed.
21-year-old from the Korean Junior Football Club, making his WAFL league debut. They'll get around him and ruffle the hair if he can put it through. They don't need to run. He's missed to the right. Subiaco unable to find the goal with any regularity today. Davis being told he's got to play on. He goes short and wide. Gee, Martinez, that was nearly out on the full. Millimetre away. Kicks it high now down towards the wing. The big launch from Jackman in Verarity. Now how will the umpire view that? Deliberate.
Just watching the players run across the ground, you'd swear it was Subiaco who had the players shorter in their rotations. Claremont definitely seemed much more up and about and running harder.
So the free kick is with Angus Stewart. Triple premiership player with Subiaco. High kick to centre half forward, and there is the three-quarter time siren. Subiaco will come home with a breeze, but they are going to have to come home with a lot more than reliance on the win. They have a lot of work to do, trailing by 38 points ahead of them. Flamethrowers go into action on the outer side of the ground. Ball thrown up. Eastland stayed down, won it down. Bolton starting the last quarter in the square, but runs into a maroon and gold brick wall.
Yeah, he really came to his own in the last quarter. Jai Bolton, 22 disposals now, leading possession getter on the ground.
He's in there again, taking a triple standing tackle.
Because he's had 6 clearances as well and 14 contested possessions. He's a gun player, Jai Bolton.
See if we can get the ball out of the centre square. Eaton wins it down. Yes, we will. Robbins, high, hurried kick. Mayo spoilt by Hardesty. Alvarez, loose ball just inside the defensive 50. Well done by Masika. That wasn't an overly kind delivery. Bouncing to him at pace. Kicks to the outer side. No one can take the mark. Savini over the back will want the boundary line.
I've liked Masika's game today. As a high half forward, he gets up the ground. He helps in that sort of defensive midfield part of the ground. But then he's quick enough and he's got the running ability to get back. He's had 3 shots on goal. He's been very lively.
He's a difficult player to play on because he works up the ground, then works back and hits you up in the lead or crumb and goal.
Weston, Masika, Frederick, they've got some real foot speed across the ground, Claremont. Ball in dispute. Here is Masika again on the fall. Hand pass. Running onto it, Alvarez. He's got a player outside him, Bolton. Bolton gives it off then towards Jackman. Comes across and a high, wide kick by Becerra. No one can take the mark. Gathered ground level by Eaton. Subiaco trying to keep it alive. Will Hickmott tackled out of play.
Here's one of the queries about Subiaco's side, probably has been the last couple of years, is their leg speed. And they've got some obviously really good players, Clark, Kitchen, those types, but none of them really dynamic. And Foley's another one. So they need to win a lot of the ball to make up for that. And today that hasn't happened.
Eastland double palm down to Rogers under pressure. Savini back there. Didn't take the mark. Manuel knocking the ball forward. He may well want a stoppage, and he's got it right on the boundary line. It's been a tough day in defence for Galen Savini today. Don't forget, you've got plenty of things to do here at the WAFL. The WAFL Wonderland in action at various grounds through until June. Plenty of activities for the kids, plenty of food. DJ in operation at the full-time Siren. So not all the action inside the perimeter of the ground in 2024. Clark's hand pass knocked down. Trying to come away with it, Liam Hickmott gives it to Will, I should say, gives it to Liam. And then Foley with the stand-start kick down the outer wing. Hardesty meets it full-chested. Eastland cleverly knocked down by Alvarez into the path of Martinez, who gives it off to Rogers. Rides the bump as he goes high inside 50. Gowdy can't mark. Good recovery. Off to Manuel. His kick into bodies. It ricochets, and a clearing kick here by Berringer down the outer edge of the centre square into the waiting arms of Mayo. Plays on. Penetrative left boot. Borchard is down there. Can't take the mark. Davis now trying to corral him. Shoots over the shoulder, Borchard. It's been a dark day, but he has got a goal early in the final term.
He did play that well, Borchard. The ball came in. He had space. It was a kick to advantage. Davis was all over him and just knocked the ball to a spot that was further to his advantage, and then what we do know is he's a very good finisher, and he's hasn't had a great day, but all of a sudden he's 2 goals on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I thought when he dropped the mark, maybe his poor day was going to continue, but he butted it up and kicked a good goal, and that's the sort of thing he can do. He just hasn't done enough of it, has he? The Chemist Warehouse replay, we see the long kick coming into Bourchette one-on-one. He drops the mark initially, but then has the, I suppose, presence of mind, the fleet of foot to butter up at ground level and snap it over his shoulder. And that's the sort of thing Ryan Bourchette can do at his best. He's a dynamic player and a hard matchup, but just been a little bit off today, as we've spoken about. But let's hope that sparks him and his teammates, and Subi can get on a bit of a roll here and make this game a little bit tighter towards the end of the last quarter.
We've got the all-important opening goal of the term. Clark can't gather. Foley does. Kicks to centre half forward. Davis can't mark in front. Francis Cheney slung into the ground by Frederick for a stoppage.
Even that was better from Bourchette. He was out of position. Davis was there. Didn't let him take that uncontested mark and brings a goal for ground, creates a stoppage.
Don't forget, we've got the AFL Derby coming up after this game on 7. West Coast versus Fremantle at Optus Stadium. West Coast looking for a second win for the season. Fremantle looking to consolidate a spot in the top 8. Eaten up high, wins it down. Kicked away in there by Foley. Martinez tracking it back, coming from the other direction. That was good intent by Bourchette. Gets a hand pass away. Claremont desperate though in defence. How does the umpire view it? He's saying it's an illegal disposal. A couple of Claremont players laying the tackle. Who's going to come up with the free kick? It'll be Sheldrick. Back in the side, having missed the previous week. Played in the reserves, racked up over 30 disposals in the 2s. Goes backwards to Davis. Kicks into the sunshine on the outer side. Clears Mayo and Hardesty. Shin to the boundary. Not the intention, I don't think, by Henderson. I'll have a throw-in. So the RAC Derby preview coming up when we are off air here at Revo Fitness Stadium. Looking at all the possible matchups and the outcome of yet another Western Derby. And again, we go nowhere from the stoppage. All this is playing into Claremont's hand, just eking time away when they've got the lead they've got. Free kick though there, it's going to go against Eastland. Grabbing his opponent in that ruck contest. He makes it a free hand pass. Eaton gives it off to Foley. High kick towards full forward. Davis dropped the mark. Sheldrick feeds the pacey Martinez with a bounce. Hurried kick in the end into the middle. Clean bowls a couple. Not Dewar. Gives it off to Corbett. Corbett now drills it low towards right half forward. Over the back. Bourchette really starting to come into the game. Here he is again. Turns on a 5-cent piece. Long kick. Third in line. Hardesty with the fist. Clark won't take the shot on goal. Draws it back to the top of the goal square. And Claremont are able to see it through for a behind.
On that last passage of play, Lockie Martinez, when he gets on the dash like that, I'd really like to see a smarter decision with his ball use other than just blazing it to no one, because the ball just comes back and in the end they have to defend again.
It's going to come back here potentially. Sheldrick unable to take the mark on the kick in because Mayo got a hand on it. So Subi have locked it up inside their 50.
Great effort from Mayo there. Moving up the ground.
One down in front by Eastland. Subi can't come away with it. Sling tackle there and get the shot on goal. Bolton is the man who is infringed, and Luke Foley, the former Eagle, is well within range with this light breeze.
Yeah, we know why that rule's come in and we all think it's a good thing. What is starting to creep in a little bit, I'm not saying Luke Foley did it on this occasion, but there are players who are exaggerating that sling tackle look. Now, it's certainly not on that occasion because that was definitely there, but it is starting to come in a little bit where players are looking for that free kick.
Luke Foley hit the goalpost with his previous attempt. That is a powerful kick, but he's even further away on this occasion. Another behind.
Yeah, the technique has to change. It used to be bring your opponent to the ground, now hold them up in that situation.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And it's difficult for someone like Joel Bolton, who's a bit older, who's been playing his whole life. It's easy to teach the kids now the proper way to tackle, but...
Martinez down towards the defensive point of the centre square at right half back. No one can mark. Rode the crumbs. High kick inside 50. Launching Mayo. Takes it on the second attempt. You can see that from a fair way out. The ball was falling steeply. He had a run at the pack and was able to take it on the second attempt.
Really like his game today. It hasn't been easy for Subiaco forwards, but he's kept presenting, kept competing.
Well, this for a 4-goal margin, and they've got plenty of time left.
Flag's probably stronger than they've been all day too.
Jack Mayo spent some time on St Kilda's list, but injury prevented him from playing an AFL game. In he goes, sends it on its way. It's bending back, but not enough.
Oh, he liked it.
Yeah, he locked it off the boot. He was celebrating.
No review here.
Frederick to bring it back into play. Kick short. Martinez plays on. Very wide kick towards the chalk. And in front, that is a very strong mark reeled in there by Sullivan. He'll set it up to the hot spot about 30 metres out. They will contest. Big fist away by Davis. He's knocked us some 30 metres out towards half back. Running onto it, Sturgio. Kicks into the pocket, unable to get there, Henderson, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
A bit of a worry for Claremont is they had about 15 players in that defensive 50. So when the fists come, they're not running, they're all just folding back at the moment, hanging on a bit.
Yeah.
You'd like to see them still play the game. They're 29 points up.
Yeah, well, it's 9 inside 50s to 2. So they are living on the edge a little bit, Claremont, with their setup at the moment.
As you saw a moment ago, and we're seeing now next Saturday, we're out at Arena Joondalup. We're taking on South Fremantle, and again, pressure on the Claremont defence. The clearing kick out of bounds on the full. So Subi will bring it back in through Corbett, whose main issue at the moment is the sun. Shielding his eyes with his right forearm. Punches it low inside 50, and the mark has been taken down there. Morgan has taken the grab. So Riley Morgan, who started his career here at Claremont, played a dozen games for the Tigers. And this to make it a 23-point game, 11 minutes into the last quarter. It's his first game of the season, Riley Morgan. He's 35th at WAFL senior level. Hasn't scored today. He's scored now, and importantly, he's scored with a goal. Subiaco, the first 2 goals of the final quarter to close to within 23 points.
Yeah, well, he's a tagger normally, isn't he, Riley Morgan? He likes to get under the skin of his opponents, and he really hasn't had much impact today from an offensive point of view at all until that bit of play there. Good finish. And plenty of things have happened. They need to kick the next 4, or at least 4 out of the next 5.
Chemist Warehouse replay. I think Morgan's doing more of a defensive role on Martinez, but Martinez needed to defend tighter on that occasion. Finds some space and kicks the goal. Margin just getting back to 23 points in the league does some doubt come into Claremont's mind. They haven't won yet this season. That's probably the thing there that is a slight concern for them.
The last 9 inside 50s, so you could probably say Subiaco haven't got the reward that that stat shows as Foley's tackled the ground by Eastland.
And the majority of those 9 are ones that have been defended by Claremont, but they've just rushed their kick and it's come straight back in. And I think they've got 6 or 7 just like that, Subiaco.
Eastland with strength, palms it down. Bolton throws his hand to his nose, saying he was taken high. Umpire saying, can you just give it to me, I'll ball it up. Bolton holds his jaw as he gets up. Umpire Laycock says, I'm not changing my mind, John. From the ball up, he fell over, but bounces back up. Foley off to Kitchen. Kitchen's got run outside from Corbett. Hand pass to Borchett, back to Corbett. Long and direct towards full forward over the back. Mayo's a chance. He socketed it from a metre out. Was going to be a goal probably anyway. but Jack Mayo has put it through for his second, and here come the Lions at Revo Fitness Stadium.
And all of a sudden, it's back to 17 points. The similar scenario happened at Joondalup a few weeks ago when West Perth got on a roll. So the Breeze is to the left of the screen. They're starting to dominate through the middle of the ground for sure. And Claremont, who were really running on top of the ground a few minutes ago, now look like they've got lead in the feet.
Yeah. I wouldn't be making too many changes if I was Bo Boardman at the moment. We see on the Chemist Warehouse replay here, Corbett running off the half-back line with his long penetrating kick, and Jack Mayo just thought, oh, you know what, I'll get on the scoreboard, and he did the right thing because you never know which way that ball was going to bounce, but it did look like it was going to roll through. But, you know, I think I said at three-quarter time that Subi can't win. Perhaps I was wrong because they're making a bit of a fist of it, and there's still time on the clock. So
well, certainly if they're good enough, they can win. Time is not an issue at the moment. They've got plenty of it. Eastland wins it down. Bolton is there. Tackled the ground immediately. He's a couple of them off the ruckman's palm in recent times, but hasn't been able to clear it.
So Subi moving up the ground, leaving Mayo one out in that forward 50.
Eastland palms it down again. Bolton unable to do anything with it. Rogers on his knees. Kitchen to Borchett, and away goes Subiaco again. Coming out, Mayo. As Trent Cooper just mentioned, they've left the forward 50 open for him, and he's going to line up for his third.
What's interesting is they've now got Cody Eaton playing centre forward with Davis on him, and they're not going to go through Eaton, and they've got Borchett at the ruck, who's actually done some nice work with some clearances. I think Davis needs to try to fall off Eaton, because I don't think they're going to use him too often to help out with Mayo, because that's where the ball's going to be directed from here on in.
Starting from in the centre square, distance won't be an issue for Jack Mayo. It's a very long kick. Can he get it straight? No. Missing to the right-hand side. 16-point ball game here at Revo Fitness Stadium. Jack Mayo 2-2 on the afternoon. And Bailey Rogers, Sandover medalist, to bring it back in. Out towards the broadcast wing. Gowdy is the target. Good purchase. Fought though by Borchett. Foley to Kitchen. Claremont though win the ball on the ground. Davis thumping it back towards the wing. Courage shown. He would have heard the footsteps coming in from behind, but Borchett, a very quiet first three quarters, really influential in the last. Road is up off halfback. Low inside 50, but on the lunge, Rogers takes the mark.
And I think that Rogers, with his experience, might have recognised that big hole that they're creating for Jack Mayo. He just plonked himself in there and intercepted that kick. Subi's, all their eyes now are looking at Jack Mayo every time they go forward.
Becerra.
Yeah, it has to be out of the centre, it's going to be okay, but from in general play, look at the three Claremont players around Mayo at the moment.
Subiaco claiming and being paid the mark. Savini sandwiched between two Tigers.
Yep, and it might be instruction. They've just rolled Bailey Rogers back, and he's just sitting in the hole now in front of Mayo.
Savini runs wide of the mark. And there is Rogers, but he can't get there in time to spoil Foley. Luke Foley inside 50. Mayo led to the ball though on that occasion, and a good mark taken by Davis, who picks himself up and pokes it out wide to Rogers.
Are they deliberately just holding on here, Claremont, aren't they? I like the mentality of trying to score sometimes when you've got a big lead like this, because every goal you kick just really ices the game. But if you go into this go slow mode, you can get a little bit jittery, which Claremont appear to be.
Rogers to the outer wing. It's going to come back. Savini's second mark out there in the matter of moments.
They've made the change. Davis has gone on to Mayo.
Savini punches it low, and there's Rogers.
And this is clearly now what's happened. Rogers is sitting in the hole, and Subia still just bombing it straight in there.
Risky kick. He sat it up for Bolton, but Henderson couldn't get there to affect the spoil. So Sandover medalists linking up deep in defence. Bolton gives it a ride. Savini's marked out there twice in recent times. Eastland though, as the pack collapsed in front of him, hugs it to his chest.
down the ground.
Round again.
That'd be 50.
Is that Manuel that was
Yeah,
put down?
Manuel. Yep.
I think it's going to be a 50.
No.
It's going to be a fair 52.
Oh, this could be very costly. Man on the mark's going to be set.
Yeah, he's had a
Inside.
terrific game, Ollie Eastland. This is coming up for his 19th disposal, 39 hit-outs. He's already kicked a great goal, left foot banana.
Reigning best and fairest. The clock is ticking, 25.5 minutes since Claremont's last goal. Both teams today have had very long periods where they haven't been able to kick a goal. Eastland looking to end a considerable drought for Claremont, and the reigning best and fairest doesn't let them down. Claremont's first score of the final quarter, and we're nearly at time on.
Well, I'm sure Subi will look back on this and they will rue a lot of their free kicks off the ball, because I think that's cost them at least 3 goals that I can remember. And in a game such as this, where they're coming back now, and the margin is only just over 3 goals, it's been pretty costly and ill-disciplined.
It's Chemist Warehouse replay. Strong mark for Eastland, but almost poetic that this game has been decided. The momentum with an off-the-ball free kick, because it's been happening all day. Claremont probably gave away a few earlier, but it's been Subiaco since then. We saw that run of scores. 8 in a row to Subiaco, but just that free kick down the ground gives Claremont the breathing in space again.
Clark to Liam Hickmott, and a very busy opening half. Rousset very high towards centre half forward. Arriving Henderson ran under the footy. Robbins, we know, has pace, leads Alvarez to the ball and is content to take it over.
Yes, Rogers has gone back and taken that spot. So really you need a Borchette back there, or just a smaller player to actually come down there and play on Rogers, because he's just going to be too smart. It's going to be too difficult for Mayo to find any space.
Don't forget the AFL Western Derby coming up later this evening here on 7. Western's hand pass stolen by Clark, trying to bullock his way through, lost the footy. Here's Kitchen with the blind spin, puts it to the top of the goal square. Mayo nearly took the mark. He was outgunned by 2, one of whom was Rogers, who kicks it beyond the defensive 50. Bolton, Alvarez conceding a bit of ground to England. He kicks it high now and wide towards the outer wing. Gowdy arrives third in line, can't take the mark. Subiaco shunted, ball and all over the line.
So Rogers is free for Claremont and Sullivan's free for Subiaco. There's not a lot of value in that for Subiaco at this stage of the game. So they need to try to do something with Sullivan. He's still free again at this stoppage.
And what you do with him is you say, go down and stand next to Bailey Rogers. Go down and stand next to him and stop him from intercepting these kicks, because there's no value in Subi having an extra number up around the ball, because they're just pumping it to Bailey Rogers. So you might as well go down there, even up, and force a contest, and you never know, you might kick a goal on him.
Eastland wins it down. Western dragged down as he was trying to get the kick away, and we'll have a ball up. Don't forget, immediately after we finish, you're off to the RAC Derby preview. All the prognostications as to what will happen later this evening at Optus Stadium. England loses it. Eastland socks it off the ground, but straight to Ferrone.
And the other thing is, Sullivan doesn't really know what to do. He's not getting in the right spots. He's not getting the ball. So go down there and man up Bailey Rogers. And you see now Bailey's just putting himself right where the ball's going to go.
Jeweler's kick is well weighted. Will Hickmott rolls immediately. Kicks somewhat off the side of the boot. In front down there. Dropping the mark to Sierra. Backed up ground level. Alvarez to Rogers. Kick to the outer side. It was touched off the boot. It's gave it on the bounce by Clark. The skipper goes long, and the skipper goes errantly across the face. They've had some opportunities in this final quarter. It's their 5th behind that they've kicked. Down by 21. Jai Bolton, normally a beautiful user of the ball over distance, and as I say that, he kicks it straight to Drew Roden. Most of the attacking 50 in shadow as he goes low, but straight onto the chest of Davis. Time ebbing now, probably beyond at Subiaco. Davis meanders along the boundary line. high to a 2-on-2. Alvarez off hands. His hand pass goes straight to Ferrone, to Kitchen. Kitchen now low inside 50 over the head of Mayo. Was touched. Rogers not paid the mark. Fires the hand pass to Weston. Weston to the outer wing, and the mark taken out there by Waterman, well up the ground.
The highest possession getter for the quarter on the ground, Bailey Rogers. Sitting back, he's got half a dozen in the last probably 7 or 8 minutes, just sitting back in the hole, and Subiaco with no clear awareness or strategy to stop him from foiling their attacks, and Bailey Rogers has been instrumental in icing this game for Claremont in the last quarter.
Davis gives it back to England, who just a moment ago gave it to him. So they're just racking up some junk time possessions on the outer side. Callan England long towards the outer wing. Eaton the big leap. Knocks it forward. Robbins under pressure. Kicks it wide. Davis tackled out of play. Is he by Henderson? No, it's going to be a ball up. He was tackled and couldn't get over the chalk with the footy. 21-point lead to Claremont on the precipice of their first premiership points of 2024. 0-3 coming in. Easton wins it down, but Kitchen sharks it. Hurried kick by the former skipper, and here's Rogers again. Charges out, but his kick will be a turnover. Manuel making Sullivan earn it as he pops it out wide. Through Road. Well up from his normal halfback flank. He punches it inside 50 over the head of Mayo. Here's Rogers, but he's content to watch it trickle over the line. One other game being played concurrently, and it's a big win, almost at full time. In fact, it has been. The Sirens gone. Massive win to Peel over West Coast. So they remain with that one surprise win, West Coast, last weekend against the reigning Premier East Fremantle. Bolton to England to Weston. Kicks into the bright sunshine on the outer side, and again Claremont are quite content to see it break over the line.
Yeah, they've clearly gone into lockdown mode, Claremont. Just put some time on the clock, get it down to that last minute or two and ice the game. So they're quite happy to limp to the line here, and full credit to them. It's been a good effort and they deserve the win.
The last 5 minutes, there's been virtually 36 plays in Subiaco's half. Kitchen in a tight confine, but straight onto the chest of Frederick. He's got Davis breaking laterally. Tired bodies migrating from one side of the ground to the other. Davis gives it everything with tired legs, and standing tall, and he's not a tall man, is Sheldrick. Bolton's going to run by for the hand pass. Nope, Sheldrick ignores that. Pops it out wide. Frederick all on his own. Ticking down to Claremont's first win of the season on home soil. Along the line he goes. Straight onto the chest of DeLacy. He's had a pretty quiet afternoon, Talon DeLacy. And he's going to be part of a winning 22. Thumps it just inside 50. Off hands at the front. Here's Sheldrick. He's drifted forward. Across the body inside 50. Noah can mark. Can Gowdy get a late one? Leaves the footy behind. Clark bounces off him. Ball and all. Kicks to the edge of the centre square. Martinez. Good use of the body. Close to Golding. And again, clock winding. Backwards to Rogers.
Yeah, I think they've missed a trick here with Rogers, of clearly dominating this last quarter as a spare player, and he's a direct opponent. Sullivan hasn't done much.
Frederick was casual there, but Weston gets it. Hand pass back to Rogers. Gets past one, gets past two, takes a bounce, long inside 50. Waterman arrives, can't take the mark. Ground level ball, DeLacy slings the hand pass in variety to Frederick. Taken out of play. Dying stages here in the 29th minute now. Look at Rogers there. He's grown in confidence as the game has unwound. Been terrific reading the footy in this last quarter. Eastland palms it to the front. Weston is there and we'll have another throw in. Eastland again to do the ruck work. Borchard spent quite a bit of time on the ball in the last quarter. It's been his best turn, certainly, and it's going to be another throw-in. Umpire didn't have enough for breakfast. Couldn't throw it in powerfully enough. So everyone resets. Eastland, clean possession, kicks off the outside of the boot towards the attacking 50. Well read overhead. Barone takes the mark, but he won't get the last possession because the siren has sounded. And Claremont are finally on the table with a premiership win this season. They only kicked one goal in that last quarter. At the other end, Subiaco pecked it with 3 goals 5. But Claremont's lead at the last change was too great. And despite Subiaco's efforts, the Tigers have hung on to win by 21 points.
Yeah, well...